Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I am here with my two favorite co-hosts, Terry DeMattis.
Hello.
And Jen T. Maxey.
Hello.
How you doing, Jen? You okay? I
am okay. I've been crying off and on all day, but that was because it was today.
Yeah.
But I am gonna give her a little bit of a shout out, but I'll let you finish with our intro first.
Yeah. How you doing, Terry? You okay?
Yeah.
I'm sad because I got a chance to stream with her, and you know, it was very unexpected for me. I didn't think she was. You know, I was told that she had diabetes. She had a lot of the same things I had, so kind of shakes me a little bit. You know, wonder what's going to happen when I go to sleep tonight. But
I
anyway.
didn't know it, so I mean, I'm sad for her friends, but it's not affecting me personally.
Yeah.
I didn't really know.
I honestly don't mind that about you, Terry. I knew that you didn't really know her outside of the maybe one stream that we had with her on here. So, in all honesty, I was kind of looking forward to tonight because I have a little bit of both. Like, I've got sympathy from Hammer, who kind of knew her. I've got sympathy from the chat, who kind of knew her, and I get sympathy from you too. It's just different, you know. It's still there.
Yeah.
But I am going to say stuff about her because, to be honest, her last moments were beautiful, even though, to be honest, they're the saddest things I could think about. And her life was beautiful, even though it was so short. You know, but her last moments were spent with her fiance. And
I didn't know she was. I didn't know she had a fiance. I thought she just had a boyfriend or a partner.
He was her fiance. He had kind of proposed to her half a year ago, and it was just one of those things where they were zigzagging on what they were going to do.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't just hop the border to go over to the U.S., and he would have preferred that. And he was like, "Are you?" You know, he was struggling with the idea of hopping the border and moving to Canada.
He's American.
He's American.
American.
She had herself American military boy, and she was like,
"Oh, really?
He's so sexy." Oh yeah, she was like, "He's so sexy in that sexy outfit of his," and she was so happy to snag him, and he was really happy to snag her, and you know, so they the last 7 days of her life, she was probably having the happiest times of her life. She had him, and she also got to have visitations with her daughter, which, to be honest with you, part of the reason she's dying, so that she's done and she's not with us anymore, is because she donated a part of herself to her daughter.
Keep her daughter alive, right?
And her daughter is now 7 years old because of it. So even though this is the saddest moment for her family and for everybody who knew her and loved her, I know that she doesn't regret her sacrifice, because in the last moments she spent in her life with her fiance, she got to spend one of those days with her daughter, and Dale got to see that her daughter looks just like her, sounds just like her, has a laugh just like hers, and she no longer has her triac in. She had it removed. She doesn't need it anymore. And she still has her.
That's what moms do, you know. Moms, when they have kids, you know, they do that kind of thing.
Yeah. And so they had a beautiful funeral. And to be honest, I'm crying a little bit for her family, because her dad, to be honest, BG, really was a roaring lion, and she came at you like a roaring lion. But honestly, always take the time to say the things that you really should say to the people that you love in your life, because I know he didn't. But he loved his daughter very much too, and so he had a few seconds to see that.
Yeah, it's not unusual for fathers. My dad was the same way. He never told me he loved me. I know he did, but you know, it's tough with fathers sometimes. They can't show their emotions.
But I am gonna say one more thing for her, because one of the things she advocated the most for was also for her son. Between her daughter and her son, she loved all of her children, but her son has extreme low functioning autism, and yes, he is learning how to speak. But she started a GoFundMe called Project Hummingbird. And between her family and her friends, we're going to try to do our best to keep that up. And it was supposed to be a house for kids with autism. Because, yes, Jack is bad. He's going to be okay. But when their parents go, they're the last people in their life who understand them.
Yeah.
And they don't live for very long. And she wanted to build a house where somebody could help them, who would be able to understand them, so they could live something of a normal life for longer than 5 years without being stuck in a room in a hospital full of people who don't give a flying fuck about them. She just wanted to do that. So even though I'm not going to do much more than that right now, because I honestly don't know shit about that kind of stuff in Canada, and she's left us with a long list of things to figure out. I'm going to keep that alive for her. So when we get that stuff set up, I will. I'm not going to advocate for it here all the time, but I will let you guys know about it.
Well, the link for the Hummingbird project is in the description down below for anybody.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we've had that in our description for the minions for almost a month now. Everyone on our team has had that in there.
Ever since she guested on the show, wasn't it? That's when we put it in. I think
so, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell her family that. She'll be really happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's been there for a while, so we're going to keep that in there.
Yeah, I'm not going to stay sad forever. She would be taking the piss out of me right now for crying so fucking much. And in all honesty, I didn't even mean to make a joke. I was just like, please throw some blankets into her coffin, because goddamn, that girl was cold all the time. And Canada's fucking cold as shit.
Canada is cold.
So, yeah, you guys just keep your loved ones in your heart, and yeah.
Well, speaking of our loved ones, why don't we say hello to chat? Who's out in chat? OG Costin, first person here tonight. Original gangster, folks. Hi, Sorluna. Who else we have here? Mr. Adam from our Sunday and mostly Monday shows as well. What else we have here? Scrolling.
Keeverdam.
Hi, sweetie. You guys are scrolling faster than I can scroll. Cashel.
JB Camel.
JB. Hey, Camel. Sir Animantine. How's it going, Addy? Tall person. How's it going, buddy?
Cashel just said hi in chat.
Yeah. Hi, Cashel. We got a full crew at the beginning of the show. It's only 10 minutes in. You guys are on time. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for all showing up. Sorry for all the tears, but I love y'all for being there for us, because that's kind of part of the reason I love BG, and I love all of you guys, because we have the best community on YouTube. We do.
Yeah, I mean, we all care about each other, and
and you guys are pretty good at telling some decent jokes, so I'm just saying.
I care about most people. There's Polly. But...
yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
Frosty.
Polly heard me cry first, so just so you know, he's a softie too.
Yeah, but only to you. He's not a softie to me at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. He's not a softie to me at all. But he was just like, oh, god damn, this girl. He's nice.
Yeah.
He just won't say it.
For as much shit as I give him, he's an okay guy, I guess.
The one thing I know about Polly is he does not understand how to play Survive the Internet. Every time he's been on Quippers United, he has had absolutely no idea how the game works. He's gotten very, very confused, and it's hilarious every time.
Yeah.
I go on to other shows and I don't understand. I mean, I've been on Quippers a couple of times and I never do well there. You would think, my age would have some positive part to play. No, I'm always in last place. I suck. I don't remember whose show I was on. because I get a lot of these shows mixed up, to be honest with you. But it was a show where the host was asking me for, it might have been Scribe, might have been, I don't know, it might have been The Corner. I have no idea. I don't remember exactly what it was, but they were asking me for different types of words depending on, you know,
That was
actually.
the corner.
Is that the
that was
corner? And
Yeah,
and I
that
had a
was,
total brain fart. I couldn't, you know, I have an English degree. Modern contemporary or contemporary American literature is my degree, and I couldn't remember what an adjective was. I was like,
yeah, that was
adjective.
Sad
What are
Libs.
what are they?
That was Sad Libs. That's the game that Frosted plays, where he
Okay.
takes the headlines and you have to like play Mad Libs with the medium headlines.
Right. And yeah, it's funny, but I feel bad because I'm not very good at contributing to it. Some reason I just draw. I have an excellent vocabulary, and I can quote you 30 books about what they were about from my days in college, and I have no problems with that. But when it comes to simple things, you know, I don't know what it is. Sometimes punctuation drives me crazy. I can't. Should I put a period inside the quotes or outside the quotes? I have a degree on this. I should know this. But literature is not the same as punctuation, you know?
Yeah. I mean, with all of those games, it's really not about winning. As long as people are having fun.
Right. It's about reading back what everybody has put together.
Yeah.
And how absolutely ludicrous it is when you play it back under the framework that it was built on.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like competitive. You aren't
Listen,
really...
if Polly starts to feel really bad about how badly he plays those games, just bring me on for a game one of these days. You know, because I always kind of give up on those games because half the time, if people try to support me, they're tanking me. And the other half of the time, I'm a little bit too slow on answering stuff because I play the pop-up game because I don't have a device to play the other side of it. So my pop-ups sometimes will just decide to AFK or fuck off entirely for no reason when I'm in the middle of like doing something. I'm like, shit, well, that answer sucks. Or I will spell something out and my dyslexia will decide, you know what, I'm going to hammer you right now because it's funny.
No, anytime you want to be on the show, talk to Jack. He's like almost always looking for guests.
No one really wants to be on the show.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
It's always kind of a hit and miss on whether or not I can. Like sometimes I think, you know, I could because it's usually Sunday, but my schedule's been weird for when I work. And they keep punking me with Mondays. But I probably will at some point.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you want to be on, Jack is almost always looking for guests. So I'm sure we'll be able to fit you in if you want on.
Oh, yeah. I might go on for one, and then, you know, like I said, it's been a while. I'll just, you know. I'll probably tank all my answers, though. I always do. I'm not angry about it.
It's not about winning. It's just about laughing and having fun. It's not a competitive game where you're trying to actually sort of, you know, take advantage of every little thing and try and, you know, beat everyone. It's just have fun, see what happens. I mean, I've lost plenty of games where I've come in dead last and it's still been fun.
You know, some of the joy of it, though, Terry, to be honest, is the way that you guys try to deconstruct my answers. Some of the joy that I get is literally just you guys trying to figure out what the hell I was trying to say.
Yeah.
So I don't worry about it. I don't. That's fun too, actually. I mean, Blue Smurf will never die for me, and it shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I've often said, look, if I come dead last in terms of points, but I got a good laugh on one of my jokes, that's a win for me. I don't care about the actual points.
I just noticed.
How you doing?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't zone out there. I just noticed that Shroom sent me an invite to a stream today.
Oh, nice.
I just saw it now because you guys know I've complained about this how many times. Somebody sends me a DM, I have no clue
Yeah,
that somebody sent
you
me.
don't get the
It
notification.
this is just another instance where I feel bad because I tell people, if you ever want to get a hold of me, I'm on Twitter. But then
Yeah.
they send me a DM and I don't answer them. So
Mhm.
it's terrible. If you want to get a hold of me, send an open message. That will show up. I'll see that. But DMs, I mean, I get them. It's obvious
Yeah.
today.
What
He said it
what
at 9:40 a.m. Of course, I was sound asleep, and I couldn't have made it anyway. But I didn't. I feel bad now because now I have to send him back saying, "Hey, dude, I just saw this."
what I would recommend is send him the DM, but then also send him like just put at the one time hammer, check DMs. So he gets the notification and you don't have to put
Right.
anything sensitive that you don't want public.
You're
You
right.
don't have to put that out on Twitter. You can just send him the message, just
I
tag him and let him know that it's there.
I just want to be clear. I live on Twitter. Terry knows this. He can vouch for me. I'm not lying. So
Yeah.
so if you send me a DM and I don't respond, it's not because I'm not on Twitter. I am on Twitter. It's just that, and as I understand it, this is only me that this happens to, and I don't know why. But DMs do not notify me. They just don't. So
Yeah.
that they're
It
there.
works fine for me.
If I go looking for them, or if I happen to bring up Twitter and notice in the bottom right corner on my phone that the icon has a little dot next to it, I'm like, oh, I see it now. But if I didn't actually look at Twitter, like if I just put the phone next to me and just set it on there and you send me a DM, I have no clue. But if you send me a regular message, it beeps and the screen lights up. It's like the opposite of what I want to happen.
The only time I don't get notified of DMs is if I've got the Twitter app open and on the messages page, and then it doesn't bing because it automatically registers the DM as seen because it's open on the
Right.
right
You already had the
page.
opportunity to see it, so why should I notify you? Right. I understand.
Exactly. So I have to be careful to make sure I close out of Twitter if I happen to use it on my phone.
Mhm.
But other than that, I get the notifications just fine.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe on Galaxies it works. Maybe it's just iPhones that have the problem, or maybe it's just
No, because I'm
mine.
on my phone as well.
Well, the only other thing I could think of is that I'm not 110% positive that my iPhone is an actual iPhone. I mean, it looks like one. It has a logo in the back, and it looks like one. And I bought it, and it said it was one, but that doesn't mean it's not a fake because it was cheap. It was only like $300. Most iPhones are like $700 or $800. So
I mean, yeah.
it works like
I
an
think we've
iPhone.
got the same color iPhone because
Yeah, I mean it's the right
it's
color.
rose gold, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's no way that I've been able to tell. If I go into settings or was it settings, cellular settings, general control center, all the options under settings, there's nothing that's out of place. It's got all the right information is in all the right places. The about page, it updates, the software versions update, no questions asked, no problems. The model name is correct. The model number is correct on the iPhone website. If I go and check, it says, yes, that is your valid model number. But the phone doesn't act right. It does weird stuff. So,
Oh,
so I don't know. Like if I type something into the phone on the keyboard, I have the volume on the phone turned all the way up. The first 5 or 6 things I type are real loud. And then as I keep typing, it gets almost completely quiet, like you can't even hear it. Like the volume changes, but nothing else in the volume changes. Like if something came across like a notification, it would be just as loud as it was before. It's only when I type that it does that.
I don't know. Maybe it's haunted. Maybe there's a ghost looking in your iPhone.
Something about my iPhone. I still have my iPhone 6. I could probably. It's a smashed screen, but it still works. And I could check and see if it does the same thing. I'd have to find the charger
I have no
for
idea what model my iPhone is because, like, on the back it just says SE. That's it.
That's
it says iPhone SE.
Probably a 5. I think the 5 was the SE.
There you go.
but if you go to settings and settings, general, about, it'll tell you everything you want to know about your iPhone. Do you have it with you? 'Cause-
Software version 14.7.1. Model name iPhone SE.
Yeah, it's a 5.
Model number, serial number.
Yeah. So your version of software, would you say it was?
14.7.1.
Mine's 15.6.1.
Okay, so
Have-
quite
have
a
you-
gap.
Have you updated it, or it doesn't want to update, or?
It says automatic updates are on, and it's obviously just like there's an update there, but yeah, it doesn't actually install it properly.
You probably have to tell it to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm not really fussed.
I'm looking at the iPhone SE, Apple official site. They're still selling it.
The SE.
Yeah, they're still selling it. It's on the Apple website. You can buy it brand new, $429.
There you go.
So if they're still selling it, it has to be later than an iPhone 5, right? Because the 6 is the earliest one you can buy, and that's one later than the 5.
Yeah, I have no idea. It could be a 5. It could be a 6. It could be a 215. I don't know.
Yeah, pick your favorite color. I wonder if it's even newer than that. The SE doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell you where it is in the line. I guess you can look up the phones, but we could do that another time. It's not a big deal. But I have a 7. I've been using iPhones my entire life. I had a 3G when the iPhones like first came out. There was a 2 and there's a 3G, and then I went to a 5 SE, 5S, because it had Siri. It was the first iPhone, I think, that had Siri, so they made it a 4S. And then I skipped the 5 and bought a 6. I got the biggest one I can get because my eyes started to get bad. And then I smashed the 6, so the earliest one I could find that was a decent price was a 7. We're on like 13 now, aren't we? Isn't it like iPhone 13 now?
I know nothing about iPhones. I bought one, and then it still works, so I've never had any real reason to replace it.
Yeah.
It's my Twitter notification and mum conversation box. That's the 2 things I use it for. It makes noises when I get a Twitter notification, and I call mum every week to talk to her. That's it. That's its job.
What kind of phone do you have, Jen?
I got a G4.
It's a Galaxy?
Actually, I think no. Yeah, it's a Galaxy, but it's not the 4. It's the one after 4.
Oh, 5?
Yeah. No.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember which one I got.
It didn't mean to sound like a smartass, but it certainly sounded like a smartass right there. I'm sorry. That was not the intent, but
yeah, no, it's a Galaxy of some kind. I can't remember which one it was though. It was one of the recent ones, but with that, it doesn't mean much because I got it a year ago. You know, you say a year ago and it doesn't mean much. But yeah.
Frosted doesn't like Apple. To be honest with you, when it comes to computers, I kind of agree with you, Frosted. I have a couple of Apple computers. I'm a PC guy. So as far as PCs versus Apples, I kind of agree with you, but I kind of got stuck with my iPhone, so I'm happy with it. There's software on my iPhone that you can't get on any other platform, so.
See, all I gotta say though, Hammer, is if they ever do come up with an iPhone 9000, it should be an Pfizer. Just saying.
Oh, Johnny Blaze is in chat. Hey, Johnny. The only thing I put in the show notes for, excuse me, for tonight was Saskatchewan.
Stabby.
So I don't know how much you guys want to talk about it. We can just, free form for the next half an hour and do it that way if you want. I don't care, but
there's lots there, but we can shorten it too, because even though there's lots, you can shorten it because it's kind of like A, B, C, D.
Well, yeah. Why don't you take the lead on this then, because it is your country. So
I'm glad that you gave me the update, because I was sitting here nervous while I was during that wait going, I hope that guy doesn't creep into my home, because they honestly, I say him, because the RCMP had no idea of where this guy was, in Saskatchewan for 3 days. And I made this joke for 3 days that I couldn't understand why they couldn't find the fucker, because Saskatchewan is one of those places where you joke that you watched your wife run away for 3 days because it's a flat plain. Like, to hide there, you have to really hide in a community.
You have to dig in the ground.
Yeah.
You have to bury yourself. That's how you get away from it.
You know, like hide in the grass. You know, I was questioning a lot of that, but I do think so
nice.
they are absolutely trying to deflect from a lot of the problems. So absolutely, the justice system is the reason why some people died. He shouldn't have been released. I also think it's a little bit more involved than that, because if you really kind of look at the people he went after, a lot of those people were elders, not just simply like old people, elders, and if not elders, elders in training. That screams to me a little bit of Native politics. And when I say I can't speak on that, I really can't, because that stuff is vile. It's a little bit vile. The few moments where BG, and unfortunately I don't have her for, you know, she was a different tribe, but the times where she would talk to me about stuff, like there is a lot of an absolute large swath of neglect in their community, both stuff that probably came in from, you know, prior era, plus stuff they haven't fixed, plus stuff they're never going to fix because they double down on everything all the time. But a lot of their kids suffer a lot, and you end up with guys who end up like Miles or like his brother, who, to be quite frank, were fucked from the moment they started their life. And I'm not giving them credit for killing people, because he did a lot more than kill people. Like 59 times. I knew that fucker's face. Because I remember him from posters multiple times. And I was like, geez, he gets around a lot, hey? But I do feel bad for the families. You know, because some of the people that he killed were children, and usually when it comes with that stuff, you know that they didn't need to be there. They were just,
yeah.
So that I'm absolutely sad for their families, and even the elders. Like I don't know what the politics was about. I'm not going to speak about shit that I don't understand, because that's, no, I'm gonna be in the wrong for that one, because I don't know. I don't, but it's still sad that our justice system released him in the first place, because regardless of their own politics, they knew he was a criminal. They knew he was prone to assaulting people. They knew he was violent, and they released him 59 times. And I don't doubt that. And here's the thing: I don't know if he's actually alive, Hammer. Like when you told me they caught him, I looked it up, and they think that he's killed himself.
Well, there's two people. They got two people, not just one person. Damian Sanderson is dead.
Yeah, but he was already dead. They found him dead a couple days.
Miles, they caught.
Yeah, and then right after that, I just found people saying, like, there's a couple of articles underneath from the BC Globe. They're saying that Miles is dead.
Really? MSNBC didn't say that.
So that update was like maybe an hour ago to half an hour ago. I started seeing a trend of people saying that. I would wait a little bit just to find out if that's actually true or people making rumors. But that whole story is a swath of holes. It frustrates the shit out of me, because I don't know. This is going to be one of those mysteries that we don't really know about until like 2 years after the fact, and you're like, wow, that okay.
All person said in chat, we need common sense and life control. While you were talking, I was going through my messages. I had responded to Bill Shatner about, he made a comment about this. And I responded to him as with the line, "We need common sense knife control." And I laid out some things that we should do to implement common sense knife control. And I thought for sure I was going to get banned off Twitter for it. And I thought I was going to get a lot of hate for it too. And I got a couple people say stuff to me, but I really didn't get much response. But while you were talking, I was trying to find that, and I couldn't. I haven't been able to find it. I don't know how to search for my own tweets on Twitter. As much as I use it, I don't really search stuff. So I don't know how to.
Neither.
I don't really know how to find something that I've already tweeted out, and it was a reply. I guess I can. The way I would track it down is I would find out Shatner's address and then look at everything he received. But with a guy like that, he probably received a couple billion replies. I'd be here all night trying to find it.
Well, I mean, it depends how often you tweet, but if you go to your profile and just go to tweets and replies and then just scroll down, if it's recent, it shouldn't take too long.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Hammer, I was calling it a drive-by stabbing because that's basically what he did. Like he and his brother were jumping in their black Nissan car, driving to a block, jumping out, stabbing people, and then kind of repeating it. So I was like, well, what else do you describe that as? It's a drive-by stabbing. It's a strap. I don't know.
Terry is giving me the opportunity here to try to find my text. The problem is I tweet entirely too much.
That is a common affliction. I don't tweet as much as you, but it still very quickly gets overwhelming to try and go through all my replies and find stuff.
There's my movie review for Samaritan. So I'm getting close because it was around that same time period.
So, JB, one of the persons that was killed was a social worker. Here's the thing: she was also one of his social workers.
Oh,
it's
really?
one of those things that you don't really catch on to that until you actually listen to her brother, because she was also his social worker. He knew her. That's why I'm saying it was targeted a bit. There's a little bit more to it than just the justice system. Yeah, he shouldn't have been released, but he still targeted people.
Yeah.
He had a hit list. I don't know why the other people are on that. That's what I mean when I say I don't know their politics, but yeah. That's what I won't say that kind of stuff because I'd need a little bit more detail and proof. But yeah, that's why I think it's something there's a little more there than, and honestly, that's probably for the best that that they figure that shit out, because people like you and I don't know what don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's a topic. I was just scrolling through your Twitter. One Ms. Chen took issue with you apparently.
Well, I was blocked, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
Did she say why, or did she respond?
No, but didn't someone say it was because of breastfeeding, something you said?
That's a guess. I mean, that's what I was told, but it wasn't. She didn't specifically say why. So,
right.
So I don't know if that's just that person's opinion. I forget who told it to me. Somebody told me that's why, but it's not why. It's why they think I was blocked. But and the funny thing is, I was just trying to point out something good about breast milk, about breastfeeding. Maybe some people didn't like the fact that I called breast milk food, but it seems funny. It is food. But it's a liquid, so maybe people didn't like the fact that it's a liquid, but I called it food. My dad used to say, you really shouldn't drink milk, you should chew it because it's such a food. But when you feed your baby, that's breast milk, right? So that's still... So I'm not really sure exactly about what caused all that, because all I was saying is that if you look at all the foods on the entire planet, there's only one food that you can eat, that you can consume. Let's say eat. You can consume that you can consume from birth until death and not eat consume any other product except for that, and you will live your entire life with just one food. There's only one food that can do that, and that's breast milk. Human breast milk is only, you can't, even the people who survived on potatoes during the starvation of the Russians and the Polish, they used potatoes to keep from dying. Potatoes can't last you your entire life. You can get away with years with potatoes. If you eat nothing but potatoes, you can get away with years, but it will kill you, because there are certain things that potatoes don't have that you must have that will make you ill if you don't have them over a lengthy period of time. It's like starving your body of calcium. Okay, you can live for a long time without calcium. It's not going to kill you. You know, your body creates some of its own calcium, but you will eventually start losing teeth and bone density and all the things that calcium does for you. Eventually you'll die from it, but not breast milk. Breast milk has everything. Matter of fact, it has a little bit too much fat. That's the worst thing about it. So if you did an experiment and decide that you're going to do nothing but breast milk from an infant, how you can never make that decision, I don't know. But the point being is, the only thing you'd have to do is exercise a little bit more than the normal person would be, because you would get fat. There's so much fat in it. And the fat's there so the baby can grow. It's the whole point of it. It provides energy. So I was making a very legitimate scientific point, and she banned me.
No, I think the experiment needs to be done. Hammer, have a kid. The kid does not eat anything its entire life except breast milk, and then just see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, you technically could, but the kid would be very resentful, because breast milk, my understanding to regular adults, tastes really nasty.
Well, even beyond that, it'd just be creepy.
Yeah.
Well, without even going into the taste, just the fact that a 35-year-old would still be drinking breast milk is just going to creep people out.
Have you been to? I'm sorry, I was going to say weird things about Japan, but that's really their anime. It's not really the Japanese that do that.
But I mean, you can get breast milk in a container that's been pasteurized and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be sexual. And a lot of women will tell you that breastfeeding is not inherently sexual. They'll continue to complain about guys who say, well, cover up the breasts, cover up the nipples. And women are like, no, it's not. Breasts are not a sexual thing. They are a sexual thing. But a lot of women will say not, especially feminists. So
they're both. I actually think all the way down to subconsciously, they're still both. Like, even as a dude, when you're still thinking, oh, that's sexy, I also have this sneaking suspicion you're also thinking about that one time when you were a kid and you're like, oh man, lunch is delicious. And subconsciously you're like, boobs are a wonderful thing. Because you know what men like? They like to be fed.
Mm-hmm.
Women too, which is why women also like titties. Did you know?
I think
even if we're not into them sexually, like I'm not into other women.
It was Spudgun who told me that, by the way.
I think the main appeal of breasts to, like, on a sexual level is just they're indicators of fertility. If you've got big breasts, then that sends a message to our lizard brain, hey, she'd be a good mother.
Yeah, that too. But also a sandwich.
That's what sexual attraction is on a base level. Like, you can rationalize it, but you're looking at the partner and thinking they would be a good parent for our child. Like, for both sexes, there's what you look. That's why women like rich men is like, oh man, our babies are going to be so well taken care of. Like, they don't think that on a conscious level, but that's the underlying desire that's driving the attraction. And that's why wide hips, a guy will look at that and go, oh, those are birthing hips. That baby's going to be healthy.
I'm still trying to find. You can find everything but what I'm looking for. Why is it always I can always find? I can find all kinds of stuff that I tweet. I can't find what I'm looking for. Come on, man. It's not like
if you
Biden.
really want to
Come
go
on,
to
man.
the weird places, if you go to the sex shops, you could technically get Chupa Chups that are breast milk flavored too.
You can get what? Sorry.
Yeah, if you go to certain sex shops, they used to sell Chupa Chups, like little those little flavored suckers.
Oh, okay.
That are breast milk flavored.
I'll pass.
Right?
No.
I'm just saying, Jelly Belly did it first. They have one too. Don't trust anything that sounds like it could have come from the idea of Harry Potter. They did it.
Yeah, but
The only one that I don't think they did was Spunk, which is good because that's nasty. Although I wouldn't be surprised.
For us to be saying, now explain furries. Some people are just disgusting.
Totally, but you know what? I would totally throw spunk flavored jelly bellies at Trisha Paytas. Not because I like her, but because it'd be funny.
Wait a minute.
Just keep throwing them at her like popcorn.
Wait a minute. Let's stay on this Jelly Belly thing. I've had Jelly Bellies, and some of them are really tasty, and some of them are really disgusting, and they're supposed to be. Burnt popcorn is awful. Vomit, terrible. There's a bunch of them. Cut grass, it's just disgusting. But some of them are really good. Their watermelon is wonderful. But what's this one you're telling me? Spunk? What's it called?
I said spunk. It's just another term for sperm.
But there's no Jelly Belly. There better not be a Jelly Belly out there that has that taste. I mean, how could they get away with that?
I just thought that if there was one for breast milk, there probably is one for spunk.
Oh.
I was just like, in hindsight, Jen, don't say that there isn't one because chances are there probably already is one. Because you got to understand, Hammer, I keep coming up with these ideas that make me think they're original ideas. And I sit there going, this is not a good idea, but I bet you I could sell it to stupid people.
People in chat are making fun of Jen for saying Chupa Chups instead of Chupa Chups.
Chupa Chups? I always call them
is that?
Chupa Chups.
It's basically just a lollipop.
Yeah. That's how I pronounce them. Sorry.
My whole life I've known them as Chupa Chups. So when you said Chupa Chups, it took me like half a second to figure out what you meant. It was like, oh, okay, no, you mean the lollipop.
Both of you are insane. It's lollipops.
No, it's a brand of lollipop.
Oh, is it really?
It's a specific brand. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The difference between facial tissue and Kleenex.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
They're usually just a little bit. Well, I don't necessarily know them as the best lollipop, but they're just a nicer lollipop when you're a kid. A little bit. Okay. Not always, but a little bit. Their flavors are better.
Okay. Well,
I'll send you some. Tell you what, I'll send you some.
Okay. Never turn down a lollipop.
Right? They come in like multi flavors.
Just to be a little bit. That's what I might be a little bit curious of what kind of flavor I'm going to get from you.
Oh well, I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to get the sexual ones. At work, we sell these box sets every once in a while that have like mixed flavors. So it's usually like fruit flavors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think the only thing that I hesitated on was the licorice, and I always do, just because
licorice is awful.
I like red licorice, like strawberry licorice.
I always appreciate that some people have difference in taste, but licorice is just one of those ones where you either love it or you hate it.
Well, no, Twizzlers are a candy, and they're a good seller too. But it's strawberry. The black licorice, I don't like black licorice. Have you ever had Good and Plenty?
I've never seen red licorice, but the black licorice is just vile.
Yeah, Hammer, the thing you have to understand that once you go past North America, it's usually more based off of black licorice than red licorice.
Oh, okay.
Red licorice isn't probably even considered real licorice by most people who consume licorice because licorice is based off of a root. And it comes in different strengths. So I know this because I sell a lot of European licorice. I even kind of make the odd joke with madness, even though I don't speak a lick of Dutch. But
it's the same with black jelly beans.
Yeah,
I can't just grab a handful of jelly beans because some of them might be black, and the licorice will just ruin all the flavors of jelly bean. It's just no. I licorice far away from me. It's one of the few things that I cannot stand.
Yeah, trust me, it's one of those things I won't ever do to you, Hammer, because if you haven't had like real licorice, it's a strong flavor. Like I said, it's a hit and miss. But my dad loved it. When I grew up, he loved the more strong it was, the better it was. And then he would punk his kids by hiding it in the candy. So like we'd have regular chocolates. And you know that you know there's certain brands of licorice where they candy coat them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know the ones. And he'd hide those in with stuff, and it wasn't to be mean. He's just, my dad's a punk. That's okay. I get him back though. You know, maybe someday.
All right, I'm trying to find. You know, whenever you're trying to find something, this is typical for me. You can't find what you're looking for. I was just trying to find a picture of Twizzlers so that I can show Terry the ones I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm. Terry probably even knows the ones you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Terry? Twizzlers? The red ones?
I've never seen them in real life, but I've heard the name, and I can sort of imagine that they look like licorice, but they're red.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I found a picture.
But I don't know what they taste like. Apparently strawberry is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes good. I have some. I mean, put this in private chat. Is that where we put stuff at?
You can put it there. That's fine.
I wonder if I can just copy and paste it there. Paste. Nope.
Find it.
Paste. Nope, can't paste it. Can I drag and drop it? Nope, can't drag and drop it. Can I paste a link to it? The link is a half a book long. Let me put a link in here. There's the link. In private chat. You guys can't. The guys in our regular chat in the show chat can't see it, but it's our private chat in StreamYard, and it takes like half of my screen. The link to it.
Okay, so they long red things.
It looks just like regular licorice, but they're red, and they don't taste like anything like the black licorice. There's no resemblance to the taste at all.
Okay, so they're just strawberry flavored.
Strawberry flavored plastic would probably be the best way to put it. Or
basically like a strawberry flavored licorice rope.
Yeah.
I don't know if that worked.
But they're delicious.
I'm trying to look up Waterbridge for their brands. I'm like, I can't remember their brand names.
I have some of them literally in the house. Yeah.
Cynic in chat is saying Daryl Lee sells red licorice. So, I mean, you can get it in Australia apparently. Just, I've never.
But Terry's not going to ever do it. You're not going to buy any, are you? You won't buy any.
Not without reason. Like if I happen to be like in the supermarket and I see them, or like on the supermarket website and I happen to come across them, like, oh, let's see what those are like. But I'm not going to actively seek them out. If I come across them, I'll try them, but it's not going to be something I pursue.
So this one is a hit and a miss because technically this is also a Twizzlers product. But have you guys ever had something like Nibs? NIBS?
Like
Nibs?
Those are small versions of Twizzlers, aren't they? Nibblers? Yeah.
Yeah, you have. You might not. Well, you have, but I was meaning Terry.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking maybe they had gone across the border because they're a little bit more. They're a little bit more of a knickknack because they're just basically little bits of licorice that have been cut off into bite size.
No, I mean, again, I might have seen them, but I don't think I've ever eaten them.
They're okay. I mean, in all honesty, you're not missing out on much because they're just like strawberry flavored. Wax
I'm not a big lolly or candy, as Americans call it. I'm not big on eating that stuff. So it's not something that I'm gonna like actively seek out. It's just, if I go down to Melbourne for Christmas and there happens to be some there, well, why not? But it would have to just come across my path.
I didn't say nips. I said nibs. Sorry, I thought I should correct that.
They're both great,
Sorry, Terry.
however you want to look at it.
But yeah, I do remember when I was a kid, we had a candy that I'm not sure I can say the name of because they were cigarettes, and they used the English name for those cigarettes.
Oh,
And they
okay.
were-
That name.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The one that rhymes with bag.
Yeah.
And yeah, like as a kid, I used to love them because you sort of put them in your mouth as if you're smoking them, and like, I thought that was really cool. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, I haven't tried the ones you're talking about.
All right, I'm going to name some candy bars, and you got to tell me if you have them in your country and if you've ever eaten them. I only got a couple here. All right. Milky Way.
Yes, I've eaten those.
Jen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had one.
Okay.
It was a very long time ago.
Mounds.
Nope.
I don't think I've had one. I recall the name though.
Mounds
I've never seen them.
Mounds are dark chocolate, and the inside is coconut.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I think we've got something similar because we've got Bounty, which is milk chocolate with coconut.
It is. Bounty is halfway between Mounds and Almond Joy, because Almond Joy is milk chocolate, and each piece of the candy has an almond on it. But it's milk chocolate.
Okay.
Mounds is dark chocolate, but no almonds. So Bounty is the better. This is the best of both candies.
Yeah, we used to get Mounds up here.
Milk chocolate to dark chocolate.
Yeah, we used to get Mounds up here. I don't know about the other provinces because
Do you get Bounty?
Bounty is what we get. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I should be able to get some.
Like,
yeah. Because I can't. I mean.
Yeah.
I've always liked Mounds, but I don't like dark chocolate as much as milk chocolate. So, I'm reading you off my shopping list. Mallow cup. You know what a mallow cup is?
No.
Jen?
Nope.
A mallow cup is like a Reese's cup, but instead of being peanut butter inside, it's marshmallow with a little bit of coconut.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's different. And finally, my favorite of all my candies ever, as far as candy bars are concerned, a Zero bar.
Never heard of it.
I have heard of it, but yeah, actually, is that the mint one?
No, it's not mint.
Okay, there is one that we get up here that is a Zero bar. Actually, there's two. There's the regular one that's just a regular chocolate, and then there's a mint one. But they push the mint one on us a lot.
This is neither. Our mint would be peppermint patties.
Okay.
Which are round and large, like a big silver dollar. A Zero bar is crushed peanuts, nougat, caramel, and white chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that one. You know what? Maybe.
So good.
I
Each one
like
is
white chocolate.
Each one of them is like 7,000 calories. It's crazy.
Yeah, I do really like white chocolate.
Yeah, they are really, really, really good. I thought that the company who made them went out of business because I can't find them anywhere locally. But I guess it was for a period of time they were unavailable because they're available again. I actually bought a box of them off of Amazon because I couldn't find them anywhere around here. But I went into my delivery service and I was just perusing through candies, and the Zero bar was there. Oh, I got to get one of those. So it's on my list. I'm going to have it delivered tomorrow. But I haven't had one. I would say it's been at least 4 or 5 years. So, but I'm dying to try a Bounty bar. I just don't know how. I'll have to either Amazon it or something like that to get one. And I don't know if I can get one. I'd probably get a box of them, like 10 of them, which would take me like a year to eat because they're probably so sweet.
Frost would be saying I could just make up gibberish and he'd just believe it because, how would he know different? But he does mention Twix, and Twix are good.
Twix are good. The
Twix are
problem,
good.
the problem with some of these candy bars is they have parts in them that are made out of wheat.
Mm-hmm.
Twix has cracker. Cracker has wheat. I can't have Twix. Can't have Kit Kat either. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Mhm.
Yeah, because the wafer.
Made out of wheat.
Yeah, but down here it's have a break, have a Kit Kat.
Yeah, the one I quoted was the old motto. It was a jingle, actually. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. That was a jingle.
That's before my time. I didn't know that one.
Yeah. That was 15 years ago. Yeah, you don't hear that much anymore. But yeah, if it's a candy bar that doesn't, I'm not even really that good with peanuts too much because they're legumes. They're not tree nuts, but I'm allergic to tree nuts, so I'm not really happy with legumes either. Because I used to eat Payday. Payday was a caramel nougat center with peanuts on the outside, whole peanuts, not crushed peanuts, whole peanuts on the outside. And I like them. I love Paydays. And then there was the chocolate covered version is Baby Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those. We don't have them anymore, obviously. But yeah, I remember them all the way up to like the mid 90s. I just didn't look after that point, so I can't remember where they died off. But
well,
I prefer Eatmores actually. The older I get, I'm like, my dad has a point. These are good.
What's the name of it?
Eatmores.
Eatmores?
They're still a chocolate, but they're more of a blend of like a chocolate and a toffee. Okay. And then they mix it with nuts. So it's got that extra protein to it. It's high sugar too,
Mm-hmm.
But they're really nice because they're chewy.
We have something similar here called a Heath bar. It's the inside is like a flat toffee wrapped in milk chocolate. It's really good.
We're making the chat hungry for chocolate.
I'm watching what they're saying. I noticed that Johnny Hellcat, our Thursday night host, has joined us. And Spud Gun is in chat as well. And I already said hello to Opinionated Scotsman. Yeah. The only thing that they make that I really miss is not a candy bar. It's a cereal. You guys have never heard of it. I can guarantee you guys have never heard of this cereal before. Because they got rid of it in like the late 80s, early 90s. It was called Team Flakes.
Nope, don't know it.
TEAM, Team Flakes. And it was like, you've had Frosted Flakes, right? You know what Frosted Flakes are, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tony.
So the average Frosted Flakes piece of flake is about the size of a dime, give or take. Team Flakes were more the size of a $50 in American currency.
Is that bigger or smaller?
It's about as big as a golf ball. All right.
That's
really
but
it was still a flake, but I mean, it was the size of a golf ball if you were to slice it in half. So it's much bigger, and it was made, it was the actual, it was not frosted. It was just plain wheat flakes, but it was made with honey. And the honey became like a kind of it's not a shell on the outside, but it made the outside impervious to liquid.
Okay.
So you could put milk on it and it would not go soggy. But it was so good that you could eat it without milk. And it was almost like a candy bar because it had honey in it. So it was sweet.
Okay.
So it was
like a sweet chip.
It was like a sweet chip. Yeah. But I mean, it was, and but all the flakes of them were really, really big flakes. So you can have, like, when you put your soup in, or your soup spoon into the cereal milk and try to scoop it up, you get like 1 or 2 flakes and that was it. Anything bigger would fall off. So I used to eat them dry. I would buy like 4 or 5 boxes and just over like a month, just go through the 4 or 5 boxes, just have them as snacks after dinner or something like that. Because it was good for you. It was like, it was at the time I could handle wheat, but it was like wheats and oat. It was made like a wheat, oat, and rice. That was what it was made of, plus a little bit of honey. That was it. So it was healthy. So I miss it. is like my favorite food that they don't make anymore. It was made by Nabisco, I think, or maybe General Mills. I'm not sure, but it's one of those two. But
The only reason I know what Nabisco is because there's a game called Cookie Clicker, and one of the achievements is called Panic at Nabisco, and like I got the reference to the band, but I didn't know what Nabisco was, so I looked it up. It's like, oh, okay, now the connection is more apparent.
yeah, to know Keebler, to know Nabisco, if you know the Keebler elves, they were made by Nabisco.
I know of the Keebler elves.
Yeah, and the three guys on the Rice Krispies box, they were invented by Keebler, although they're now General Mills because they were bought.
Okay.
Yeah, but Snap, Crackle, and Pop, those three guys from Rice Krispies, came from Nabisco. So
we call them rice bubbles though in Australia.
Rice Bubbles.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna take the conversation to somewhere else, just because I remembered something that happened today that was unrelated and still really funny.
Okay.
But Monkey had a debate with Hunter a Heffalon this afternoon.
You know, he mentioned that on Twitter, but I didn't get any details about it. But apparently they're not happy with each other or something. Was his tweet?
Oh, well, it was actually mentioned in chat.
I was lucky. I watched the whole damn thing.
Hivadam sent me a link to it, so I'm going to watch that later. But apparently, Hunter was defending Friends of the Playground, I think, is what Sydney refers to them as.
He likes the maps. I suspect he likes the maps a lot. I don't know why he likes the maps so much, but he likes the maps. But he kept associating it with stuff that I'm like, dude, you were off the mark so badly. Like, he went into this thing of like, well, you know, I was suicidal, and you know, they have all these programs that they're designed so that we get help, and they encourage us to go to get help, and he's trying to say that his argument is that pedos should be encouraged to go get help. So he wants to attack the stigma against them because that will help encourage them to go get help. And Monkey is like, no, they should go get help, but the stigma about them should still remain, because even if they go to get help, they're still going to be pedos at the end of the day. Even if they go for 10 to 20 to 30 for their entire life, are you really going to let them babysit your kids?
I think they should get assistance from a nearby wood chipper. I think that's the way to do it.
Well, he was really upset about that stuff, and that's where he was whining because people kept making jokes like that. And I was like, listen, you know, it's not at all the same thing. It just isn't. I mean, you know, like I even told him in the chat, like, listen, I'm not saying this to be mean to you, but people kind of, and I'm saying this as somebody who was a suicidal kid. I was in a group at 12 surrounded by older kids. But you know what I learned in that group full of older kids that were also suicidal? More ways to kill myself. Do you know what helped me get out of being suicidal? Hanging out with peers who weren't suicidal.
But I mean, just on a fundamental level, we have a innate desire to protect children. So any group of adults, that is preying on children, and whether they like it or not, that's what pedophiles are seen as for good reason.
Basically why I mentioned that to him in the chat. And I know he was struggling with Monkey, but that's why I mentioned that to him in the chat, because he was conflating himself as an adult going through a suicidal program with pedos. And I was like, you're talking about the people who are going after children. And I'm telling you, as a child who was in a suicidal program, those programs actually do give you more ideas when you're a child. And I can't imagine that a pedo is being honest with you at all. Have you checked their computers for pictures? You know,
the stigma cannot go away because it is hardwired into us to protect children. And we understand that, you know, having sex with children is not something that benefits the child in any capacity and is in fact incredibly harmful to them. And so people who would have that desire to harm children are rightfully stigmatized. And I don't think you can or should remove that stigma.
But also, I don't think he understands that people with that kind of mental illness usually have more than just that. And a lot of that ends up with people being very manipulative. So if you know that you could get somebody to agree, well, you know, I'm not really a bad person, blah, blah, blah. That's already somebody who's you're willing to be manipulated by this person. You know, I'm sorry, I wouldn't trust Avalon with my child, because there are some women who will let men into their life who will absolutely do shit to their kids. And Avalon sounds like that kind of a dude.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, I wouldn't trust him either.
He sounds like that kind of a dude. So I told him in the chat that even though I don't believe in God at all, there's this part of me for people like him who make excuses for dumb shit.
Anyone who argues in favor of pedophilia is automatically someone that I don't trust, because there should be something hardwired into you that tells you this is wrong, because it is. On a very basic level, puberty exists for a reason. If you haven't gone through puberty, you are not ready for sex. And like, you can argue that, you know, the age of consent should be higher than just puberty, but you should not be having sex with anyone who is prepubescent. That is just wrong on every level.
But it was also fun to yet again watch Hunter demonstrate that he likes to accuse you of bad faith arguments while actively creating bad faith arguments. And then when he joins you on your channel to debate you, he then starts to instruct you on what to do with your channel. Like he suddenly owns your channel too. And I'm like, dude, if on your end you want to mute Monkey, then on Monkey's end, I think he should mute, like, fucking kick you off. Like,
yeah, no,
who the fuck are you?
Not his place.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck are you? You do this on every other channel because you think you're bigger than everybody else. And I'm like, you're a privileged piece of shit. I'm not talking white privilege. I'm talking privileged piece of shit. Somebody who thinks he owns stuff he doesn't. And he's talking out of his ass. And yeah, I started quoting another guy who really hates him, like this black dude who's, I think it's B-Specs dude. I can't say his. He's got a weird channel name, but anyway, he was basically going after Hunter Avalon for being a little bitch and how his his girlfriend bangs other dudes, and he should go cry on her shoulder and let her fight his fights for him again. And I just repeated that shit in the chat. Because I'm sorry, I could be a troll too sometimes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Isn't there a bunch of fairly attractive looking people on the net who are just really just total, I don't know what's the word, jerks, assholes, somewhere in between there, but Hunter Avalon is one of them. I think Shane Dawson is another one. Brittany Venti is another one, where people have found out that they're just terrible people. You know, like they did nice things, or they had, nice channels, and they did, good content. But when you got them alone on a stream somewhere, you found out, whoa, wait a minute, these people there's something wrong here.
I don't know specifics about any of these people. Like, I followed Brittany Venti on Twitter because she was like controversial for a while. But I don't know like specifics about what she's in trouble for, like what she's done that's so horrible. I know I had some sex accusations about Shane Dawson, but again, I don't know specifics.
Well, Brittany used to be a Twitch person, and she got kicked off of Twitch. And I don't remember if it's because of language or because of sexuality, but it was one of those two, I believe. I don't remember for sure, but she got kicked off of there, and then she started saying some really stupid stuff, just idiotic crap, and had a lot of bad takes and stuff like that. And people realized, ooh, I don't know. People still have her on their streams and stuff like that. She's a pretty girl, but she smells like cat pee in my mind.
She kind of is like that though, and it really doesn't matter what side you think she's on, because I don't think she is on any side. She is one of those type of people that will take opinions from both sides. That is kind of her. But her takes are so kind of like either extreme or just retarded.
Yeah.
I think
And
she
yeah,
does
she
it for attention. I don't know how firmly she believes any of the things she says.
Yeah, so I agree with Terry on that one. I also agree with Hammer. I do think she smells like cat pee or her own pee.
Another one is Shane Dawson. He was the guy who did, he used to do like interviews and stuff like that. And he did an interview with Gina Cooney. And he didn't call her on anything. He didn't try to nail down the fact that she's shady when it comes to her weight and how her house works. And he said he had a talk with her and got her help. And now she's going to be okay. And everything was great. And then like a week later, she was doing the same shit all over again. He didn't help her at all.
No.
You know, so it's just, when I saw that, I was like,
Yeah,
oh, great.
But don't you know, Hammer? Shane Dawson thinks he's an empath. I'm an empath, don't you know? I can understand people's emotions before I talk to them, even though I probably talk to them first before I understand any of their emotions, because that's actually what he does.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, he played that angle a lot of the time. It was kind of gross.
But it's like the Logan brothers are another example. And what was the guy who swung his friend around on a backhoe, and then he stopped the backhoe and the kid ran to the side of the arm and it smashed his face in? That's all over.
Oh, yeah.
Philip DeFranco covered all that. That was some well-known, I don't know if it was one of these two guys, but it was some well-known creator on the internet.
I haven't watched Phil in a very long time.
I hate watching him.
I discovered him because he was covering the Lacey Green versus Roaming Millennial dispute. And then so I watched him for a bit, and then I just started to find him annoying and stopped watching him.
Yeah, once I kind of clued in how really disingenuous he was about everything, I just stopped. Not because I don't want to know what he says. Like, I appreciate guys like Hammer who take one for the rest of the team so that, you know, he at least knows what he's talking about. But I don't want to give that guy a view. Also, because my understanding is he was supposed to start a proper business, and I've unfollowed a lot of people on YouTube for that kind of shit. And I talk shit about those kind of people because that's an unneeded Sarkeesian kind of shit.
Sora's got the 411. The guy's name is David Dobrik.
That seems vaguely familiar, but I don't know who it is.
That's another one of those creators that are just like, dude, you're shady, you know. But he's a good-looking kid, you know.
Apparently, Check Your Logic hate watches Philip DeFranco. Like, I've never been one for hate watching. Though I did watch Steve Shives a little bit, because I thought he was so stupid it was funny. I don't know if that counts as hate watching. I wasn't like angry at him while I was watching. I was just laughing at how idiotic he was being. Sort of like, you know how people like The Room because it's so bad and it becomes entertaining. That's what I was watching Steve Shives.
I watched DeFranco and I'm fine with his content until he gets into politics, because then it's so clear that he's left wing and he's got severe TDS. So it's like his entire show is fine until the last 10 minutes where he just bashes Trump, and he does it every fucking show. And he'll say even his reporting about Trump is wrong, because he'll say, you know, Trump did this, and this well-known scholar of this great institution said he's bad because of this. And if you look at that guy, he's a flaming Democrat. Well, of course he's going to say Trump is bad. He's a Democrat, you know? He fucking hates Trump just like you hate Trump. You don't quote a right-wing person saying anything like that. And then you'll make it seem like it's just the news. I'm just reporting the news. Dude, you're fucking biased.
So Philly D is on the Sam Harris wavelength of Biden could have dead kids in his basement and I'd still prefer him to Trump.
Yeah, I don't know if he's quite Sam Harris. Sam Harris is pretty far off the reservation with his, you know, his views, but he's not far away. You know,
this is why I love Red Feather. She's calling it locale watching.
Okay, well, I just learned something new because I thought Red Feather was a guy.
She's a lovely lady. She is a lovely lady.
Welcome, Red. I didn't know. Not that it matters. Everybody's equal here.
It's just the girls.
I hope I made you blush too. Good.
So anyway, yeah, I've been watching Philly for a long time, and his regular stuff is if he's just talking about regular, everyday, boring stuff, the typical gossip on the internet and Twitter, and how people hate each other kind of stuff. It's like, okay, well, that's typical everyday run of the mill crap. And he presents it quickly, kind of way I like information. He doesn't waste any time. So this is what happened today. Blah, 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 blah. He goes right into it. Just the kind of stuff I like. I hate the guys who say, well, there's some things going on and we're going to talk about it. But first, I'm going to go watch somebody else. And that's into that, but he gets right into it. And that there is some nostalgia, because back in the days where he tried to do both sides of the coin, he wasn't that bad. And Polly warned me, for as much as I can't stand Polly, he warned me that it was going to be like this, that DeFranco really was a huge lefty, and eventually he's going to gather a big enough audience, and then he's going to turn left and not give a shit. He's got a big enough channel now, so he doesn't care about his Republican conservatives anymore. He's just going to, and he did exactly what I was told he was going to do. But back in the day when he was even, or trying to be even, it was digestible. Okay, you're wrong. That side's right. You've given us both sides of the story and how you feel about it, but at least you've given us both sides. Now he doesn't do that anymore. So now I fucking hate watch him.
I find the whole TDS thing absolutely fascinating, because it kind of made sense when Trump was president. Like, sure, you hate the guy, he's in power. He's not in office. He hasn't been for years now. And they still blame everything on him, and they still have nothing but Trump on the brain. And you could say, I hate that it's raining. Yeah, fucking Trump, he made it rain. That's how demented these people are. They blame literally everything on him. And it's just, I find it amazing that he could have that much impact on their brains. It's just they've gone completely bananas.
Did you see Check in chat? Check the logic. You can't stand Polly? I can't stand Polly. He can't stand me. That's why we're best of friends.
Right? You hate friend each other. It's great.
Yeah. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. It's like I always make fun of Jack Gunsky for being all sorts of horrible things.
Yeah, but that's true, though.
Because I like him. We're friends.
Nothing but love for everybody. Yeah. Nothing but love for everybody. It's all good.
Except you. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. We're 18 minutes, 19.00 seconds after, 19 minutes, 4 seconds after. How you guys doing? You want to?
It's up to Jen. She's the one who's got to get up in the morning.
Well, I mean, if we want to take a few minutes to talk about one other thing, I could hold out a little bit more, but yeah. Sure.
Go.
Oh, I don't know. Do you have anything?
No, not at all.
Oh, how about you, Terry?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So it's all on you, Jen. What do you got for us?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna exploit the fact that I got 10 more minutes. So I'm not gonna keep waxing on too much about BG, but I am gonna chill out a little bit for a stream that we will eventually do for her, where we're gonna do a little reel with pictures and stuff. I also have a project for that's gonna take me a while to do, but I'm gonna have to do some research with people because I want to do something for her 2 kids because. I'd like them to have some clips of some of her happy moments because I know there's a lot of people who did do some streams with her, both through us at the Minions and through other places. And I want happy moments, like appropriate moments because it's for children. But yeah, that's right, Cryptic. No big dro moments. I want no big dro moments because I love big dro, but those are not okay for children. But I was thinking I'm going to do a little collab for them and her family because her kids aren't going to grow up with her, and she adored the shit out of those 2. And that's it for that one. on that one. What else? What else is going on in the world? Jeez. Well, I don't have to worry about stabby dude anymore, so that's nice.
True.
Yeah.
Hunter Avalon definitely ran away from Monkey Stream like a little bitch. That was amazing.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, it was amazing. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna have. I might take the piss out of that guy a little bit. I mean, not on Twitter, but I am absolutely gonna take the piss out of that guy because, like,
I don't actually know what happened there. Was Hunter on Monkey Stream?
On his stream. And it was so much bad faith argument. He was absolutely a child. Like I said, demanding Monkey like obey to his whim. Oh, this is bad faith argument. When Jack Gunsky was not Jack Gunsky, sorry. I'm sorry, Jack Cochran was asking him some fairly reasonable questions. Like he was literally trying to understand what his argument was really about. Like, and he was actually giving him fair faith. Jack is surprisingly decent. You know, he will make fun of you. He will. And he'll win when he does because dude's funny and sharp as shit. But he's absolutely capable of being kind to somebody who looks like they're struggling. And to be honest, Hunter shouldn't debate people because he's a child. He's still mentally a child.
So this started on Twitter and then Monkey started up a stream and had him on? Is that what happened?
Well, Monkey said some stuff, replying to him or like debating him with angry Monkey, and then went to bed. And then Hunter, like he always does, he always kind of waits until you're kind of not around to respond. He'll just start making up shit like, "Oh, this guy's a pussy," or "Oh, he'll run away from a debate." And then you call him on it, and you get him on a stream, and that's basically all he does is he gaslights you. And
so that's exactly what happened. That started on Twitter, and Monkey had him on a show.
Yeah.
But just in case anyone from Twitter is watching, Angry Monkey is Ranting Monkey's cousin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a Bannovation account.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, he kept saying "lol" to interrupt them. It was just like, wow. Wow. Woo, lad. Woo, lad. I can do that too.
I'll have to go back and listen to it because I saw that there was a stream out there, but it didn't match up with my sleep cycle, so I didn't catch it. It must have been early in the morning.
You'll find it amusing. Like there's a lot in there that I'm sure you'll unpack. That's kind of amazing. But towards the end of it, I just kind of stopped listening to him because I could tell that he honestly didn't want to listen to the other two, and it came to that point where I could tell he was being a petulant child, and I do know I hurt his feelings with some stuff because, like I said, when it comes between adults talking about suicide and adults talking small children, people are always going to favor the safety of the child over the guy who wants to kill themselves. Like, sure, they're going to try to help you. Sure, of course they are. But if you're advocating for the guy next to you, thinking he's the same as you, it's not the same thing. It just isn't. And I told him that's where your bad faith argument is I feel like you're almost projecting that on yourself, like you think you're the same person. I'm like, if you think you're the same person, I want to question your computer. I do.
Yeah.
I don't mean to link that to you, but I will.
I don't think very many people can debate well live. I mean, Medicare is probably a master at it, but
yeah.
And to some extent, Sargon is pretty good at it. Not great, but pretty good. But
I mean, didn't Sargon lose a debate to Christy Winters? I don't think he's that good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be on top every time. Ben Shapiro's lost debates too. For as good as he is, he's lost.
But I'm just saying that I think Sargon is better with scripted material than off-the-cuff debating.
Yeah, he probably is. But I mean, still on a scale of 1 to 10, he's still probably a 7.
Right? Okay.
And you never know how good you are at debating somebody until you debate somebody. I think that I would do a really good job debating somebody on guns. but I haven't ever debated anybody on guns, so I don't really know how well I would do until I'd actually do it. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to do it on a stream. I wouldn't want it out there. Even if I were to win, I would still be uncomfortable having it out there as a permanent record on the internet forever. I'd rather do it one-on-one on Discord.
You did do a debate about MGTOW ages ago, didn't you?
I did, but I knew walking into that was an easy win. I didn't have any problems with that. I was like, oh, watch this.
Yeah.
I walking in, I was like, I'm just gonna destroy this. It's not even gonna be a debate. I'm just gonna end it right here, right now. And that's exactly what happened because I knew it was gonna happen. So I was apprehensive, but I had the ace in the pocket. Now going into a gun debate, there's history about guns that I don't know about. Someone could pull up something that I'm like, I don't know. And I would say that too. I would not have a problem saying, well, maybe I'm wrong or I don't know. And I think that's a mark of somebody who's a good debater, that they can concede a point, but still win the debate.
So here's the thing. I can't remember whose stream he was on, but here's the thing. I was kind of in a weird mood when he was arguing with Monkey, but I might have called him out for being the Ken Ham of YouTube still, because he did once upon a time debate somebody in faith for Ken Ham because he's still a creationist. I'm not throwing shade at him for being a creator. Well, no, I am. I am. But at the same time, no, he didn't like that either.
But I mean, like Lauren Chen used to do debates. She debated that Vegan Gains.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't do very well. But her content's good content. Even the head content she does now, as opposed to the original charted content she used to do with pop videos. But she's not very good live. So they're two different talents.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to debate somebody live and coming up with a good rebuttal on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different talents. So, I don't really have anything I could debate anybody about. I don't feel too strongly about anything. I mean, I have strong feelings about things, but I don't think I have a strong enough history of things to be able to debate that topic well. Like I could sit here and debate abortion or guns or any of the popular things out there now that are debatable, but I don't know if I would win. I mean, even with my skills, I'd be like, they'll bring up something about something I don't know anything about, and I'd be, I'm in trouble now,
So, I can't challenge you to debate whether hitboxes are cheating in fighting games or not.
Jeez. I think you could. I think you could get into a debate with me when it comes to the differences between console hitboxes and PC and first-person shooters. I think there's a debate to be had there.
Using a hitbox in a first-person shooter would be the stupidest thing you could ever do. It's custom-built controller for fighting games. If you use it for literally anything else, it would be.
But you could use you could use those on a PC because PCs can use whatever controllers they want.
Yeah. I mean, my hitbox is for the PC. I'm just saying the only genre of game that you would want one for is fighting games because it doesn't have analog controls. Like it's got a D-pad that's 4 buttons. That's it.
Right.
If you want to aim, you don't even have like the right analog stick to control the camera. You've got up, down, left, right as individual buttons,
right?
And then you've got like 8 buttons for whatever you want to assign them to. But you'd be unable to move the camera. You'd not want to use a hitbox for literally anything other than fighting games.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of things to debate about when it comes to gaming and PCs and consoles and all that kind of stuff. There's so many factions about this, that, or the other. Gaming on a Linux box is another argument to have, and which is better for games, a Mac or a PC. And there's just so many things you could argue about on that platform. But
PC Master Race debate is already one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that, but there's debates on both sides. There's points to be made.
The only reason to buy a console, to my mind, used to be the exclusives. There used to be games that you could only get on PlayStation or that you could only get on Xbox or Nintendo or whatever. But just about everything comes out on PC, so that eliminated
Eventually.
the need for, but that eliminated the need to buy a console in my mind. If you can afford a PC, I don't see why you would not get one.
A lot of those people want the game now. So I mean, what do you got to do? You got to buy a console if you want to play it now.
But there's not even that many games that are exclusive
Not anymore.
anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
Like any game that was on the PS3, I guarantee it's on the Steam store.
Yeah.
Like with very few exceptions.
But
then you've got
But even games that are available on the PC are ports. They're not written on the PC. They're written on and then ported over. So they never play exactly like the original game did. They're always frame rate problems and crashing problems and all that kind of stuff. Even when they do get moved over, they take a while. First of all, it's going to be a year before they're released on PC. And when they are released on PC, it's going to be at least 6 months to a year before they run right.
No, I mean, I've seen plenty of games get simultaneous releases on all platforms.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know more about...
5.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5 came out on everything at the same time.
So just an update on the screen, or the title story. He did die. CBS has confirmed that.
But
they are saying the cause of death was not given though, so that's a little.
Did they shoot him?
I don't know.
Turn around, bang! That's what you get, man.
Yeah. Well, at least that way they know they won't release him again.
Yeah.
So they caught him alive, but he then died somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. If this was in America, I know exactly what happened. I can't talk about Canada. I don't know what the rules are there, but in America, I know exactly what happened to that guy.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything because we all love our channel.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said that the way I said that.
Yeah, I might have to poke at BG's brothers because they're not the same tribe, but this is stuff where I'm just like, there's more here than they're saying.
I'm not saying
I'm not going to spread truths or anything because it's
not going to spread truths. You don't want to spread truths.
But I just want to know what I'm actually seeing in real life because I'm tired of the news just lying to me all the time.
Yeah. Well, I would have thought that he wasn't caught at all until I hit MSNBC and they had an update on this. They had the story, then above the story was the updates that they had done in order with the most current one on the top. And the current one on top said they caught him, and that's as much as I know.
Just quickly, Jen, how are you going for time?
I probably should head off pretty soon, but I'm okay. I always kind of linger awake for at least an hour to an hour and a half because that's just how my brain.
Okay.
My brain's a bitch like that,
Wanted to make sure.
Yeah. No, I'm still good. At least we can finish this story. But yeah, my understanding is he was booking it for the border heading towards Alberta. So I think that's probably where he got caught. Is there? And I don't know what happened there because border control. With this guy, everyone over here was already kind of hyped up. To be honest, he's really lucky he didn't run into just a regular person because some of those people were honestly kind of dumb about how they were just showing off their guns everywhere. I'm just saying, you guys are aware of what Trudeau's trying to grab from you, right?
Guns?
You better get those boats out so you can pretend to sink them again. You know, I'm just saying.
Guns in Canada?
You should have seen some of them. They were pretty impressive. I was like, God, I should clip some of those and send them to my gun friends.
Were they like
I don't know.
Like serious guns, like AR-15s and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, there were some bayonets. There was there was some fancy stuff. I was like, ooh.
Wow. I like Canada even more now.
Alberta's a different breed. We're all Canadian up here, but but there's a lot of people who live very far from the city. And I'm sorry if you're waiting 20 minutes for the cops to save you from a bear, good luck with that one.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's actually
guys,
that's actually a little bit, a tiny bit of news here on the Hammer Ranch. There's a bear that comes by here on a pretty regular basis, and the county animal control put a trap out for him and caught him.
Okay.
Yeah. They said that they knew about this bear for a long time. That I wasn't the first person to report it, or my neighbors, because we all did. But they wanted to wait until the cub was big enough to survive on its own before they trapped it. And they can only tell us that after they trapped it. They couldn't tell us ahead of time because someone would kill the little bear and say, okay, yeah, now you have no reason to not trap it. So that's the deal. The cub is now 2 years old, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they said after 2 years, he doesn't need the mother anymore because it's a mother. They trapped it. They didn't kill it. They just trapped it.
Yeah.
So as I understand
it,
they're moving it to another part of Pennsylvania.
Well, that's nice that they went about it. I mean, it's nice that they told you why too, because it's kind of like, oh,
After.
they saved a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking, you know. I'm sure
No.
there's a little part of you who was like, oh, there was your baby?
Well, let's be clear about this. This baby is almost the same size as me.
Of course.
The
Yeah.
mother is easily twice my size. Pennsylvania bears up here are big, man.
I'm an unreasonable woman. You got to understand that I've seen baby mooses where I'm like, oh my God, you're almost the size of your mom. But because he's just young enough to still be kind of baby stupid, he just had the look of like, don't eat me.
Well, mooses aren't particularly friendly types either, but if I had my choice to face a moose or a bear, I think I'd prefer the moose. Because bears are, man, they're all kinds of long teeth and claws, and they're just looking to rip something apart, you know? Or a moose
Bears are tough, man.
It's also more that they're weird kind of clever, because sometimes they'll just fuck off anyway because they don't necessarily want anything to do with you, but sometimes they're just, you piss them off. My dad had some interesting bear stories.
So someone had a fight, a bear versus a lion, and the bear just like with one swipe of its claw crushed the lion's skull in.
Yeah.
Like it was not a fight; it was just one hit.
It was a slaughter. Yeah. You have to understand that the baby bear that's 2 years old, I'm 6'3", 210 pounds, well, 213 pounds now. I'm a big guy, and that little baby bear is as big as me. His mother is a full-grown bear, 7, 8, 9 years old. She's much bigger than what you would see as a polar bear. You know how big polar bears are? She's bigger than him. Polar bears are a lot of hair, a lot of insulation. She's all muscle, very short hair. She's so big and so strong that she picked up that trash can full of trash like it was a toothpick. It meant nothing to her. She just grabbed that, picked it up, and walked over there. I had to struggle to push it, and she picked it up in the air. It's crazy strong and ferocious, but the funny thing is, they don't like sudden noises. So I got her to run away by banging my flashlight. I have one of those cop flashlights. You know the ones I'm talking about? Those mag flashlights.
Mm-hmm.
I banged that on the aluminum door in the back of the house and scared her away. But I mean,
It's good that you need to do that.
I was literally 5 feet from her, not even that, more like 3 feet from her. She was right in front of me. I have security cam footage where she's like 2 feet from the door, and I'm on the other side of the door. So I'm happy because the trash won't be destroyed anymore. And I'm still gonna put a strap on to keep it closed because I'm sure there's a dad around somewhere. You know, even though I haven't seen him, I'm sure there is one. And that little baby could probably go after the trash just as well. So I'm gonna keep using the strap, but at least I don't have to worry about getting attacked and killed.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I would imagine they relocated the baby bear too, though.
I don't know. They only caught the mom. At least that's what he said. He said, we got the mom. So I guess the baby bear isn't really that much of a threat. So, excuse me.
Die.
Sorry about that.
Please. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, 10:40, time to get out of here. Now we're getting past my time.
Yeah.
And now I have to read something while I'm coughing. Brilliant.
Yeah, because you have a strap on. You know it.
Yeah, that's not.
I'm stealing that from you, Frosted. Thank you.
I don't know if I'm able to get through this or not. I want to thank chat for making fun of me tonight. Nah, it's all good. If you guys can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember the Minions are live every evening, including weekends, with most shows starting around 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 7 days a week. Host and start times are listed in the description down below. We'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you for coming and saying, goodbye with me too. End the show.